Well, the fall of Assad has been met by celebrations among Syrian exiles. Hundreds of people gathered in central Berlin when the news emerged on Sunday that 5 decades of dictatorship had come to an end. Germany is home to almost 1 million Syrians. Most of them came to escape the civil war, which started in 2011. Well, returning to Assad's Syria was never realistic for those who fled his regime, but his removal means going back is now a possibility.
Wir sind alle noch nicht wach.
We haven't woken up yet. It was all too short for us. It was all too fast. Getting the country freed from Assad in 6 days, we didn't count on that. And many Syrians are now asking themselves, are the new people running the country the right ones? We don't know. We have to wait and see what comes out and then we can decide. But right now, you can't say whether you'll really go back or stay here.
Ehab Badwi fled Syria to Germany in 2015. He set up an organisation called the Syrian Youth Assembly, which works with young Syrians in Syria and around the world on educational and development projects. Welcome to the studio, Ehab. This has been an amazing few days. Has it sunk in yet?
It is still a shock, actually, to understand what's happened. Like for us as a Syrian, we still somehow not easy for us to believe. It's all those 14 years of suffering, it just gone. It just come to the end.
And how did you find out Assad had gone?
Like for us, it was like a process, first of all, like to understand and to see what's just happening right now. The military work is starting again. And from there to start to follow where we are, what's happening from city to city.
So were you constantly on the phone to people back home? And
actually, I have been on the media 24 hours. Like,
yeah.
I cannot go to sleep for 2 days. I'm just following up about where they are, what's the situation right now, how it's coming, the processes, etc., etc. And it was like not easy at all. Like I'm trying to describe it, but it's really difficult to try to mention how difficult are.
Right. And then when you got the news that Assad had gone,
yeah, it's like shock. Like it's really shock about really this is happening. Like for somehow I thought, I am in a dream or something. Like it's really for us it was not easy to believe that's all over and he's gone. And to be honest, until today when we try to test the freedom again to say, and are we sure that's really happening? This is really happening. This is true.
But like so many of these things, you get what you think you want, and then you have to look at the details. So Assad has gone, but in his place we have an Islamist, a group of Islamist groups that some countries have designated as terror groups. Does that give you a cause for concern?
This is other big concern about the future of the country, how we will move for it. And as well, all our eyes is looking for the transition period and on a justice way as well, after all what's happened. I believe many Syrians are not sure how it will go, and then same times they don't feel how we will interact right now with this. We're looking forward for the stability of the country, but we are as well not sure about how it will be. But this is what I'm feeling as well from my conversation with young people. But in the same times, we are happy. The period of Assad, it's come over, and then as well to leave back, and especially after everything we see every day from yesterday, from videos about the presence in Syria and like all that.
So when the HTS leader, Mohammed al-Julani, says he wants to build a government and society that includes diverse communities, do you believe him?
Like from what did we see before, it was difficult to believe. Like it's what this is mean for them and how they try to change their ideology just right now, and then how they try to propose building a government and as well a democratic government being included for everyone. And this is our concern as well for the next period, the transition period, how this will be. Do we will really build a democratic government in the future, how this is the process will. And I believe after the establishing of the temporary government today, and they give themselves the time of 3 months, in the next 3 months, we are very excited to see how it will be.
That'll be the first test,
exactly.
will it be?
Exactly.
This is a transitional government that's supposed to be there until March.
Exactly. Yeah.
If that slips, maybe that's what happens.
That's a big question.
Yeah. Okay. And so, do you want to go back?
This is the question, I believe 100 people ask me until today, do you want to go back? But no one asked me if you want to stay. Today, if I wanted to speak about this, I'm someone who came 2015, someone who integrated with language, with the study. I received different degree in Germany. I become German. I become citizen. I was fully right and as well active in democratic country. No one really tried to ask me, do you want to stay? This is the big question. To answer your question, do I want to go back? It's
so you
not
would have been
easy.
quite young when you left then?
Yeah.
So Germany is home?
Germany is home. For me, someone after all these years, the network I have, it's only in Germany. No one know me anymore in Syria as someone there. I don't remember if I still have a friend in the same city, as all my friends left with me when we left our country, because we forced to leave the country. It was not our choice to leave. But answering your question, do I want to go back? Me or other young people or other Syrian refugee? We will go back only when we feel the stability in our country and feel safe to go back, and absolutely voluntary way to return, more than about someone just throw us there to try to find our future.
And do you think Syrians here in Germany, Syrians like yourself, is there a role for you in steering the country's future, the country's direction?
This is actually exactly what did we got from all those years. In Germany, we receive a lot of education, we receive a lot of experience. We learned what mean the democracy. We learned what mean the freedom. And the question here, how we bring all our experience back there. And absolutely, I believe the experience we learn about the civil society, how we can rebuild our civil society again back in our country. And I believe many of the Syrian, they want to go back, but they want to first believe there is safety and believe there is possibility to go back.
Good talking to you. Thank you so much for coming and talking to us. Ehab Badwi from the Syrian Youth Assembly. Thank you so much. Well, Johann Wadephul is a member of the German Parliament with the Conservative CDU and speaks for the Parliamentary Group on Foreign Affairs. Welcome to DW. Is the German government right to stop processing Syrian asylum applications?
Yes, at that moment, this is the correct decision from the government here in Germany. But of course, only a few days after the regime has fallen, we have to look what happens really on the ground in the country. The words we hear from the new regime are quite okay, but we have to look what their concrete actions are, what they are doing on the ground, how they treat people in future. Do they respect different religions, ethnics, and so on? Syria is so diverse. So I think the whole international community has to closely overview what the new regime is doing.
OK, so you have to wait and see is effectively what you're saying. You have to wait and see if their actions match their words. So why then is it the right thing to stop processing asylum applications? Why not continue until you are satisfied that Syria is a safe country?
No, stopping the processes here of asylum doesn't mean anything directly for the asylum seekers because they will not be thrown out of the country and they will not have to leave Germany. They can stay here. But it makes no sense to go on forward because the legal ground for this whole asylum process was that we saw the Assad regime and that people who were here and were asking for asylum argumented that they were threatened by the Assad regime, which is now gone. And we saw, of course, a lot of people celebrating this effect with very good reasons. But it's really too early to decide how to go on with these processes.
That's understood.
I think the most important thing now on the international level is to get in contact with the neighboring countries, with the Gulf states, and of course with Turkey, which is a NATO ally to Germany.
Right. Okay, so you're saying that those Syrians who are currently in Germany have nothing to fear because they won't be kicked out. Yet members of your party have argued that Germany should start returning Syrians to their homeland. Another has even suggested that Germany should charter planes and offer €1,000 to every Syrian who wants to go back. Is that what you want?
No, that's not our idea. Especially all the Syrians who are good and fully integrated into the German society, and a lot of them are really invited to stay here. And of course, for others, we have to really seriously look what's going on in Syria, and to give them the chance to argue further on that they were threatened by the new regime, if it was so. But if not, if Syria, what I really do hope, now changes into a new tolerant country, where you have the right and possibility to freely speak and celebrate your religion and so on, then of course we would ask these people to return, because Germany has received millions of refugees in the last years, since 2015. I think our hospitality is without any doubt, but the society in Germany is, of course, under very high pressure, because also a lot of people from Ukraine are living here, because we are a neighboring country to Ukraine. So in the end of the day, we have time to really closely look and calmly look what's going on in Syria, and then come to decisions.
Right. Good talking to you. Thank you so much for joining us, a German parliamentarian, Johann Wadephul.
My privilege.